Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to talk about Married to Medicine. This is the end of season. What season is it? Season 11. This is the end of season 11. This is part three. Um, I have to be honest. I will always stand by Married to Medicine. I think it's one of the best shows on Bravo. I think it's one of the most consistent shows on Bravo. Even though and I think I've said this before, there was one season where I was kind of in and out of it. But for 11 seasons, I still stand by this is one of the most consistent shows that Bravo has put out. This season, it was cute. I, I, for the life of me, I will never understand why Gregory and Sweet Tea were even able to participate in this show. I don't like to, I really don't, because some of this falls on Heavenly, Jackie, Simone. Um, I just don't see Kyle or like even Emily, right? The girl from Orange County. I go in and out of Orange County. I think Emily wasn't she. I'm almost sure because I remember watching like one full season of Orange County. Her ex husband was like abusive towards her, right? I want to say I remember seeing. I think her name was Emily. She gives me like a New Jersey tea. I don't know why she's on Orange County because she reminds me so much. Like I think she is from New Jersey. I just feel like Anyways, I just didn't. I never felt that she was a good fit for Orange County. But again, I only watched like one season, and I'm like in and out of Orange County sometimes. Um, I just don't. I just think there's a line that should not be crossed. I do. And I think that if you claim that this is supposed to be a sisterhood or some type of friendship, most people probably would not even like if their good girlfriend or someone they deemed as a friend started hanging out with their ex boyfriend, ex husband. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I think that most people, most women would look sideways if they found out their good girlfriend was hanging out with their ex husband, ex boyfriend. So I think that once you start to factor in um, the fact that that was a volatile marriage and they were over there, pulling out machetes and pulling people down by a flight of stairs by their lace front, why would you then think it was okay to bring this man and place them back in front of your friend? I don't see them doing that to Emily. They could. If they did, I would still think that it's very problematic. And then when you go around the room and most of the women are like, oh no, I would not want my ex around, then why would you do it to Quad? Why? Because you wouldn't want it done to you. And I think that's where you have to start questioning the integrity and the morals of these women. Because for you, it was all about trying to get a scene, trying to get this season to be explosive. But again, we have to question you. I have to question your integrity and your morals and how you move as a person. Because instead of you looking out for someone who has been a part of this circle for 11 years, you would rather put her in a situation where something terrible could happen, like a fight, right? I think there are a group of people out there who just hate Quad, which is fine. I don't know Quad. I ain't never met that lady. It is what it is. That's not my sister. That's not my friend. That's not my associate. I don't know. I don't know her. So you can hate her to the day you die. I don't care. I think that when people get in my comment section and they start to scream, oh, you're not objective, you're not fair, it doesn't really bother me because I know I am. Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't have been on Heavenly's neck for calling Dr. G a Pedialyte and also saying, girl, I think it's time for her to take a season off. And I don't even like Dr. G. So you can't come over here and say that I'm not being objective or fair when I'm saying that the girl who I actually do go up for, which is Heavenly, I'm saying it's time to put her on pause because girl, it's starting to be too much. The people that are not objective or not fair, and I say this with love, are some of you. Because there's no way you can convince me that if you were Quad, you wouldn't feel a way about how these girls have moved and rallied around getting your ex-husband who pulled you by your lace front and his ex-wife and put them back in your space, in your face. But because the hatred for Quad runs deep, people act like it's not a problem when it is. We're going to get back into it. I've said this before in Alive, and I think that look at this picture. Hey, I think that there needs to be a 2 drink maximum at the reunion, and I think that uh, the alcohol that should be served should be no stronger than 11%, and it should only probably be more than likely champagne or wine, because for the most part, I think that's usually the alcohol that has 11%, 12, 13.5, maybe. You may get 14.5. What Taylor Port got? I think the girls might be a little too bougie to drink Taylor Port. I don't know. Simone and Quad get into it. And I think that based off of the fact that these reunions are already heightened with, emotion, and the girls already know I'm about to read, I'm about to get read, I'm about to get cursed out, I'm about to curse out someone. I do think that once you start to factor in, the Don Julio Actifulio, you got the Hennessy in the back, you got the Jack Daniels in the back. We got a few bottles. And this is coming from a girl who like to have a cocktail, right? We like to have a cocktail every now and again. But even I can say I think that there needs to be a limit on the alcohol intake and also the alcohol that is provided, because it's only going to make the situation worse. Okay. Um, Girl, we just gonna talk. Simone and Quad. I think Dr. Simone is going out sad. I do. I do. It's something about Quad that Dr. Simone just hates. I am sick and tired of people bringing up Sister Circle. Girl, Sister Circle is not. Let's say Quad did not give the ladies a shout out at her party, which she did. Sister Circle was not around that long for that to be in an 11-year friendship that would make Simone hate Quad the way that she hates Quad. It's kind of like, remember when Nene used to try to act like she doesn't have a problem with Kenya, but then she'll motion like she's about to spit on Kenya? Sweetie, there's no way you can spit on someone, motion to spit on someone, and then come back and say, I don't have a problem with her. Girl, there's an issue there. Like, there's no way people are going to convince me that Sister Circle is what it is, why Simone just hates Quad the way that she hates Quad. Girl, a show that was on for what, 2 or 3 seasons? Girl, on TV1. No shade. I think that people don't want to start at the beginning with Quad and Simone and Quad and the other ladies. While yes, I do believe that Quad got the big head. I do. And I do believe Quad started to walk around here like her shit didn't stink. I do. But I also believe that that was also in part to how the women treated Quad her first season, like the ghetto black bitch from Tennessee. And I think that for those of us who have watched every season, you know that's how they treated Quad. So I can understand why Quad probably felt, oh, y'all treated me like this since season one, and then Quad was a breakout star. And I could see how Quad started to smell herself, right? It doesn't make it right, but I can see how you could start to smell yourself. Quad has this violent marriage. And in Simone's words, right? Us hanging out with your ex husband, that was your karma. Girl, what? Simone, um, you gave us your ass to kiss. We hung out with Greg. Now, Quad says, because Curtis was on stage, the men were on stage, and Curtis says that basically Quad had to look at them. Basically, y'all brought Dr. G and Sweet Tea around, and Quad had to just deal with it, right? He said that she had to like look at them, and then Simone was like, well, she didn't have to look at them because she was never really around them like that, right? Um, and then Quad says, y'all never should have ushered them in. She said, y'all, for some reason, Simone was the one who got hit. she felt the hardest hit. And that's when Simone starts, you gave us your ass a kiss, so we hung out with Greg. Um, and then she said, we can usher in the people who we effing with. Now, mind you, if so if Simone was already friends with Greg, then there would be no need for you to feel like I can hang out with Greg since Quad gave me her ass to kiss. And also on the stage, we catch Simone. I'm telling y'all now that I have been saying that Simone is not friends with Greg. Because even on the stage, she didn't say I'm friends with Greg. She said Cecil is friends with Greg. Sweet Tea ought to feel like an idiot. Sorry. And Greg. Because girl, y'all were only brought in. I've been saying this since the beginning. They were only brought in as a piece of for this game that they're playing. That's it. And now you can see how the majority of the cast has now turned on Sweet Tea. We don't need her no more. Girl, she can go. They don't even have respect for Sweet Tea. Um, she says, Quad says, I never turned my back on you. Who was knocking on your daddy's? Who was knocking on your? Basically, saying who was knocking on doors looking for your daddy? Girl, Simone lost it. Now this is where I'm gonna have to say I don't care. Yes, Simone did. Let me say something. Simone, a part of Simone's storyline one season was her looking for her daddy, and and the cameras were up, and they had them walking around. Where were they at? Knocking on doors looking for her daddy. That was a part of the storyline. It was filmed for the show. So if Quad wants to say, you're not going to sit here and say, I ain't never been here for you when I was walking down the street knocking on doors looking for your goddamn daddy, it is what it is. Now, what was never a part of the show and what should have never been mentioned was when Simone actually said, I said what I said on purpose, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said, I said what I said on purpose to hurt her so she could understand the magnitude of what I'm trying to say. So she purposely brought up the little girl. I think it was her niece, a family friend. I don't know the relation to the girl the little girl that passed away in Quad's pool at her home in her backyard. But the fact of the matter is, one, that was not Quad's daughter. That was not Quad's daughter. Two, that was never mentioned on the show at all. Three, it was never a part of a storyline at all. So if Quad says, Simone, stop, don't mention that, Simone should have stopped, because now you're mentioning a child, something that was never mentioned on this show. It was never used as a storyline. We ain't never seen a picture of this girl on this show, nothing. So if, like I said, and I'm not changing my mind, if the parents of that dead child saw Simone walking around Atlanta and whooped her ass because you want to bring my daughter into some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you and this bullshit show, then it is what it is. It is what it is. Simone used her father as a storyline for the show. Quad didn't use that little girl as a storyline and that the little girl was on the show, then I could see it a tad bit. But the simple fact that we never seen that girl on the show at all, and that's the road that Simone went down, I think it's bullshit. And I think it's wrong. I do. I think Simone comes across as a very nasty, vindictive, evil woman. She does. And I hate that for Simone, because Simone started out as one of my faves when I started watching Married to Medicine. And I don't know if Simone has gotten caught up with the show, but the way that Simone moves when it comes to this show is absolutely weird to me. And even on stage, they go back on stage, and Quad apologizes for cursing her ass out, because Quad was cursing Simone out, you dirty fucking bitch, all types of stuff. She asked Simone, girl, if we can go over the last 10 years, tell me what I have done and I would apologize. Girl, Simone says she's done. And that's the point that I'm always trying to make when it comes to Quad and even the other ladies. And the most people are going to say, and I can guarantee it's going to happen in this video, go to the comment section. Somebody going to mention Sister Circle. Girl, that is not enough. I'm sorry. What about Sister Circle? If that's all that it takes in 10 years, girl, if that's the most that you can come up with in 10 years, girl, you don't have a case. And then when she asks Simone, girl, tell me what I have done. Simone can't even come up with nothing. Oh, you gave us your ass a kiss. And that's why I brought your ex-husband around who used to pull you by your hair. Toya said, so they're in the back. Toya tells Quad that, because Quad was like, this is some dirty shit. Toya says it's not dirty. It actually is very dirty. And it's trifling as fuck, if we're going to be honest. Girl, why would it not be dirty to go get my ex-husband, who y'all know we were in a violent situation, and then bring him back and put him back on the show? Yes, y'all did usher him in. Let's start at the beginning. Heavenly, Simone, and Jackie, from my understanding, all started hanging out, meeting up with Sweet Tea and Greg. I think Simone, because of Cecil, was hanging out with Greg and Sweet Tea. Clearly, these women have some pull when it comes to Bravo, NBC, I don't know, because they wanted Sweet Tea on the show. Whomever holds the power to write the contracts, they wrote a contract for Sweet Tea. So that just goes to show that these women and what they say, it holds some type of weight. So in fact, you did usher them in. Now again, they didn't write the contract, but they said something for the contract to be drawn up. Now, they didn't have to sign the contract, right? They chose to. They chose to. Sweet Tea chose to sign her contract, and Dr. G chose to sign his what is it called? Consent form / contract. But it is dirty. Jackie pulls Simone to the side. Sweet Tea, I need a minute. I mean, not Sweet Tea. Tisha, I need a minute. I need a minute. I need you to go. Because she kicked Sweet Tea out that room so fast. Girl, these ladies do not have respect for the way they little girl Sweet Tea. The way they little girl sweet tea, girl. Dr. G admits to being inebriated, but says, but I put people only say it was Quad. He's basically saying I told her to be quiet, or you got a big effing mouth because I was drunk. I'm so sick of this show. I am, because for the life of me, I do not understand why people keep trying to say that Quad antagonized Dr. G. For a nigga to come back to this show and you don't even get paid. Like I have been saying, I don't understand how. I feel like at this, I'm really about to end this video because I'm starting to get frustrated, because I feel like people are purposely not trying to see what the facts are. If Dr. G wanted to hang out with his friends on this show, listen to what I'm saying. Dr. G does not get paid. The men do not get paid on Married to Medicine. The men do not get paid on Married to Medicine. So if Dr. G wanted to come back to the show and shoot scenes, he could have, right? Because y'all say that he is the medicine. He don't need nobody. He don't need a girlfriend or a wife, because according to a lot of people, he is the medicine. He's already on the show for free anyways. So what would have stopped, what would have prevented him from shooting on the show that he's already shooting for free? If he's already friends with these people, as some of the people were saying. It wasn't until Dr. G got a fiance and a wife where he decided to come back to the show for free. Sweet Tea gets paid. I heard a small fee, especially in comparison to what they're getting paid. And then they get married, do all of this stuff, and then people say that Quad is antagonizing Dr. G. What in the holy fuck? Quad is antagonizing Dr. G. Now, mind you, from what I understand, Quad and Dr. G hadn't seen each other. I think Quad said they saw each other once after they got a divorce. And I think that was because they were wrapping up the divorce. It was something like that. But other than that, they have not seen each other. Dr. G, as small as Atlanta is, girl, Dr. G been over here in his corner and Quad been over here in her corner. So if I have not even seen this man has not seen me, and then he comes back to the show that I'm on, then how am I antagonizing him? How? And then people say that Quad shouldn't be on the show because she's not married to man. Let me be very clear. Dr. G Black Ass is not the employee. He will not. Dr. G has never been in the opening credits. He's never been a cast member. The show is not centered around the men, even though the men do shoot scenes independent of the women. The show is about the women. That's why it's 7 or 8 bitches in the opening credits and not 7 or 8 niggas. This ain't no love and hip hop introduction, right? The only time you see the men is in the confessionals. You don't see them, and of course, the show. So this thing of thinking that Dr. G should just be on the show, Dr. G will never. Dr. G has never been, will never be the employee. I'm done. Girl, I don't even want to talk about this bullshit no more. This is stupid. I'm about to wrap this up because I don't even care, honestly. I thought Heavenly looked dumb. I'm just gonna be honest. I thought she looked absolutely crazy. Girl, she apologizing to Contessa out the blue. I thought that shit was weird. I was like, where's this coming from? Oh, sister, we gotta move on, sister. Girl, what the fuck is you talking about? Girl, this is stupid. I just think it's stupid. I do. Dr. G is really just bothered that Quad left him. He done said it too many times. I'm sorry, Dr. G is bothered that Quad is saying that she left him. That's what bothers Dr. G. People are going to give Dr. G a pass because he's a black man, because he's a doctor, girl, because he's in a certain tax bracket. And they're going to be black women, especially black women, because those are the viewers of the show that feel the need to protect Dr. G, even though Dr. G is hell on wheels. You can see it. Even though Dr. G is talking to Tisha like a fucking dummy behind closed doors, there are people out there who still want to protect Dr. G. And again, it's mostly black women because that though it's mostly black women and gay men who probably watch Married to Medicine. And those are some of the people that are running to protect Dr. G the most. Because the straight niggas ain't really watching Married to Medicine like that. Unless they girlfriend. Unless y'all husbands, unless y'all making y'all husbands, unless y'all are making y'all husbands a boyfriend watch with y'all. um I put Heaven to shut the fuck up. This apology is weird and fraudulent. We gotta work on this, sister. She's apologizing to Contessa. I don't know why. Quad and King getting married. Girl, they just said they're enjoying each other's time. Girl. Two things can be true. This is the thing. The whole talking to let me say something. For the girls who don't know my stance, all that talk, I don't give a fuck if you a man or a woman. I don't give a fuck about no gender. I don't give a fuck if you're a man, woman, trans woman, non-binary, non-gender conforming. You're not gonna talk to me like I'm crazy. Because I'm gonna talk back to you like you crazy. And I'm not going to get your motherfucking husband. I'm just not. Girl, the simple fact that Dr. Heavenly can call Dr. G a pedophile, right? Even though she wasn't in an argument with Sweet Tea online, but then Dr. G has to go speak with Dr. Damon, I think is absolutely insane. I'm not speaking to no goddamn Dr. Damon. Not if you call me a pedophile, I'm speaking to her. And wherever the chip's gonna fall, the chip's gonna fall because this is the thing, right? Everybody thinks their husband can't get their ass whooped. But somebody gotta lose a fight. Okay? Or it might be a tie. But everybody thinks that their husband is incapable of getting their ass monkey stoned. I do think it is a double standard. And I do agree with Cecil. You can't just go around here talking to people crazy and expect them not to say nothing back because you a woman. Because if your mouth is set up the way it's set up, mine damn sure can be set up the way it's set up. It is what it is. But when you play this game of the men up here and the men are not supposed to be as emotional as the women and all that bullshit, even though we know men are just as emotional. That's why every time we look up, girl, some woman floating in the Mississippi River upside down. Hello? Even though the truth of the matter is, girl, when it comes to men commit the most violent crimes, but they say men are not the most emotional. Girl, I'll be damned if they ain't. Right? So people choose to play this game that men are not these emotional creatures and it's just the women. Girl. But the niggas be emotional. But it's a double standard. It is. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. But the fact of the matter is, this is the thing where two things can be true at the same time, right? The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what the wife or the girlfriend says, and I've been saying this too. It doesn't matter. No man, girl, I don't give a damn if you gay. Hello? It could be a homosexual relationship. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and just let you talk crazy to or about their partner. It's just not gonna happen. It don't matter what their partner said. Yes, Dr. Heavenly called Dr. G a Pedialyte online. Dr. Damon not gonna care because at the end of the day, that's still his wife, and you're not gonna talk crazy to my wife. See, I get both sides. I'm saying for me personally, I don't give a fuck about what no gender you are. Okay? I don't give a fuck if you trans woman, trans man, non-binary gender. I don't know what you identify as, girl. If you talk to me crazy, I'm talking back to you crazy. That's it. Girl, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to talk to you and your man crazy. Because I'm not going to knock on nobody's door and take a, hey, can you make sure you talk to your wife because she called me a peanut? No, ain't none of that bullshit. I'm addressing a person who talked to me crazy. But again, in this circle, this is how they operate. This is how they chosen to operate. Nobody's going to care what their wife said. Even if their wife is 1,000,000% wrong, they're not going to care. They're going to hear, and Dr. Heavenly's point, he's not going to hear what I said. I don't think he going to hear is what the fuck you said to me. And that's the truth. Toya told Sweet Tea, obviously you used to that based off the conversation you had with your man. We're not. I said, oh, girl. Greg apologizes to Sweet Tea, girl. He don't mean that shit. He don't. He don't. Let me tell you something. Is it true? Yes, it is true. And I'm gonna say this. I think that most couples talk to each other crazy. I do. Boyfriend, girlfriend, boy, I do. I ain't saying all. I think most. But I think the difference is when you do the shit on TV. If you're willing to talk to that lady the way that you talk to that lady behind closed doors, and you have a whole camera crew there, probably a producer, producer's assistant, girl, there are probably 4 or 5 employees there of Bravo shooting that one scene at that house. So if you're willing to talk to her like that, and there are 4 or 5 other employees there, then what or how are you talking to her when the cameras are down and gone? And I saw the clip of Sweet Tea on her. This is not no alleged, of Sweet Tea basically saying that she's went up Dr. G's head before. This ain't no alleged. It's on her YouTube page. Go watch it. She got a red shirt on, sitting in the kitchen. You're Quad's kitchen that she got. I'm almost done paying for Quad's house. So they're more than likely over there fighting. And that's based off of the shit that has come out of Sweet Tea's mouth. Here's that beautiful beam footage I was talking about. Take a listen.
I think that he was still up in his own head, and people need to keep in mind in these moments, things are amplified, and we're caught up in a lot of stuff that we normally would not have to deal with. And in that moment was a moment of you guys seeing that in real time. Like, this is stuff that, he felt like he was in danger. Y'all got the real shoot. In relationships, you gonna have arguments. It ain't the end of the world. Like in a marriage, I feel like in a marriage, it take work. This stuff ain't easy at all. This is year 2. Been with Gregory since we've been knowing each other since 2020. We got together in 2021 officially.
Let me just say something, and then we're gonna get back to listening to Sweet Tea talk. Girl, if it's already tough and you're only in year 2, and y'all say that when you sign up for marriage, you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with somebody. Girl, I think the average lifespan is like 76.5 years, something like that. So you mean to tell me Sweet Tea is in her 30s, and then Gregory is 56, and y'all also supposed to spend the rest of your life together, right? Until Gregory died. And girl, y'all already having issues at year 2. This is still the newlywed phase. I don't know if y'all know that, right? Ain't the first 2 years like the newlywed phase? Hollywood was a newlywed, yeah, right? And girl, y'all struck, girl, listen.
We've been together for a minute. Okay, you gonna have some arguments. Do I want to go upside his head? Yes. Do I? Yes. Sometimes I do. Can you do that? No. You have to be able to resolve issues, and I think
y'all heard what she said. Do I go upside his head? Yes. Should I know? Y'all heard what she said. Whatever she just said. So, girl, clearly they're probably more than likely over there tussling. Girl, I don't even care. Girl, Sweet Tea like it, I love it, honey. They tried to play a clip of Damon checking Heavenly. Sweetie, let me tell you something, baby. That is not the same thing. What that clip they showed of Damon, basically, I think that was a night that Contessa and Heavenly got into it. And I think that Damon was basically trying to tell Heavenly to kind of like be quiet because it puts him in a position where now he has to be in the bullshit with Scott. I think that was that scene. I think they were at Simone's home and Cecil's. I don't know, but whatever it was, that, and that's what I mean when I say that sometimes these producers, they know how to easily fool some of the viewers, that they'll just throw a scene out there as if that's the receipt. And I'm sorry, a lot of these times, a lot of times these receipts they're not receipting. But then people will run with it like, look, girl, you are not gonna compare the way that Dr. Damon was speaking to Heavenly at that car, the same way that Dr. G was talking to Sweet Tea behind that closed door. That is not the same. But I will say, and I've said this before, and I've said this on Love and Marriage. I think that sometimes a lot of wives do put their husbands in situations that could be dangerous, because you want to talk to, like Dr. Heavenly, you want to go around here talking to these men crazy or calling them out of their name, but then you expect for that man to address your husband, thinking that your husband can't get his ass whooped. Everybody husband, somebody gonna lose a fight, and that's just what it is. So now y'all are putting your husbands in these dangerous situations, right? Because you want to be fly by the mouth and talk to this man crazy and expect him to go talk to your husband man to man. Well, the way that I see a lot of these niggas handle business, honey, girl, somebody might not even walk out the goddamn building. Because some niggas ain't talking man to man. Hello? Catch that T. Anyways, girl, I don't even care. Girl, I keep saying I don't. Girl, I'm so over this. Girl, let's hurry up, girl. I'm about to wrap this up because it's been too long, and this is some bull. When I say I do not, girl, I'm so disgusted by this show. I think I'm disgusted, girl. I think that's the conclusion. I'm disgusted. Um, Sweet Tea, will y'all just get the real? That's not normal, girl. Anyway, I don't even care, girl. Dr. G set up he starts to sing. Set me free. I want to be free from the bullshit. I can't stand someone to lie on me. I'm a positive person. Set me free. Girl, like, and the simple fact that people are running around here talking about Quad is bitter. This motherfucker wrote, produced, and recorded a song about still being attached to his previous marriage and him needing to be set free. He comes back onto a show where he does not even get paid. We don't see him promote his business. We don't see him in his office. Even I think when Dr. Contessa had her health event that day, did we see Dr. G sit down with a patient that day? We saw Dr. Heavenly looking at people's teeth, right? Hell, we saw even Steve outside throwing a football around because he used to be a football player, right? And this man comes back to this show without being paid, not to promote his businesses, girl, not to promote his practice. And people say that Quad is bitter. And this man is on stage at the reunion singing a song while his ex-wife is behind him. Yeah, baby. People want Quad to be the angry black bitch so bad, the bitter black bitch so bad, and the bitter black bitch is actually Dr. G. And that's just what it is. Girl, I'm done, girl. Girl, I'm done. Sorry for hanging up the phone in y'all face. I'm sorry. I wanted to finish. I forgot to add this part. The season is over. Sweet Tea needs to go. Dr. G needs to go. Y'all need to the problem with Bravo is that y'all don't like to do what's best for the show. What's best for this show is bringing Mariah Huck back. Even bring Audra back, but especially Mariah Huck. I think at this point with Married to Medicine, the viewers who watch the show, we are the viewers. Married to Medicine is never going to hit a million plus mark. It just won't. The days of the million plus viewers are gone. You might get it with Beverly Hills, and I don't even think this season they've even hit a million plus. But I think what would be best for the show is to bring back Mariah Huck. I do. I think Mariah is needed. Um, I think that will. I think at least that will bring back some of the real conflict because Married to Medicine, girl, y'all really have kind of lost the plot when it comes to the show. We know that this reality TV is produced reality TV. But girl, when y'all start going down the road of bringing on abusive ex-husbands, that's when y'all kind of start to lose me. Because at that point, like, girl, I just think that they need to get rid of Sweet Tea, and Dr. G, of course, and then bring Mariah back, and then bring Audra as a friend on the show. Bring Dr. Mimi back. I think Dr. Mimi and Steve are a good addition. Um, but get rid of Sweet Tea and Dr. G and bring Mariah back. And I think that's all you really need. I wouldn't even care. They really could get rid of Dr. Jackie, but because Mariah really wants to swing at Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, I think that they should. I think that they need to have Quad sit down with Mariah and they have a real sister to sister talk. And even if they say, "Bitch, we got to put on for these cameras for the next season because we about to whack these hoes," then that's just what it is. Y'all need to have Quad, Usher, and Mariah back to the friend group. Like I feel I'm not a producer, but I just feel like they make things harder than what it is. And I understand that Mariah has sued or has some issues with NBC or Bravo or whatever, but I don't think it was to the point where she made it personal. It was more so about the business, right? Unlike, somebody like a Nene who made things very personal with her and Andy and her and NBC and her and like she made it personal, right? To me, from what I remember, Mariah was more so, it was more about the business. I think that if they're going to do what's best for the show, I think what's best for the show is to bring Mariah back. I do. I do. Like even when, because I don't think Atlanta's going to be on for that too much longer. Even with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now I know this is a stretch. Well, what I'm about to say, I know it's a big stretch. But I think that when they decide to pull the curtain on Atlanta, I think they need to bring back the heavy hitters like Nene, Kenya. Like go out with a bang. Bring the girls back. Get rid of these new girls. Get rid of that Bethany Edison girl, right? Bring back 3 or 4 of the old hitters. And girl, go out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Bring back Mariah, bring back Mariah, bring back Mariah, bring back Audra, and I think you have a show. There will be no need to have to bring on Sweet Tea and Dr. G. That's so whack to me. Okay, so listen. This is the last thing I have to say. I don't give a damn if people felt like Quad was putting 20 on 10, right? At the end of the day, when as it pertains to her saying, I want to bust it wide open. If you want to come back to my show, yes, if you want to come back to my show and fuck with me, then I'm going to sit here and tell the world how I gobble on dick every night, how I bust it wide open 2 or 3 times a day, how it's back shots like bongos every motherfucking night. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am. Y'all wanted to bring his ass back here, and just like Quad said, I should not have to censor what I say or if I'm going to hype my man up because I got to be worried about Dr. G. Because the way Heavenly hypes up Dr. Damon, don't nobody say nothing. But Quad is supposed to pull it back some Even if she was doing it on purpose, I still wouldn't give a damn. But she's supposed to dial it back some because Dr. G is sitting right here. Well, his ass shouldn't be sitting here in the first place. Why do I need to worry about how he feels when y'all not concerned about how I feel? Fuck him. And that's just what it is. Got my glasses falling off my face. Yeah, that's just what it is. I'm not concerned about Dr. G. Especially, I'm talking about me. No one should be concerned about Dr. G, especially when he is choosing to sit here for free. At least promote your business, nigga, if you're not gonna do nothing else. You wanna sit here for free? And then y'all want to try and put restraints on what I can say about my man because it hurts his feelings? Fuck him and fuck his feelings. And yes, I'm going to be here next season. And yes, I am not married to medicine. It don't matter. Like I won't, baby. Listen, we need to let the titles of the title of these shows go. If we, when none of the bitches be on Beverly Hills, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, how many of those girls actually live in Beverly Hills? So we're gonna get rid of most of the cast. How many of the girls on Real Housewives of Atlanta actually live in Atlanta? Because some of them live in Duluth, girl, Decatur, Stone Mountain. How many of the girls on Real Housewives of Orange County actually live in Orange County? How many of the girls on Real Housewives of Miami actually live in Miami? How many of the girls on Real Housewives of New York City live in New York City? Or do they live in Brooklyn? Girl, or Jersey? Newark. Girl, okay? How many of the girls are actually housewives? Girl, we watch Love and Hip Hop every year. And how many of those girls have put out a hip hop album? Girl. Anyways, I'm done. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.